Okay. From last week's assignment, let's talk about where did you get tripped up? What was easy about it? What was hard about it? What do we need to clarify? And you may not have any questions, but did you think it was difficult? Did you think it was easy? Not all at once, just one at a time. Tell me what you think. Okay, does that mean nobody's done it, or?
Honestly, I did it. It wasn't too bad.
Okay, you didn't think it was? All right.
I didn't think it was scary. Finding the information was just the hardest.
I haven't had a grade yet, so I don't know if I can or not.
Finding the information, I don't know, it wasn't, I didn't think it was very difficult. I guess like trying to check yourself and recheck yourself on like trying to find holes in your theories and this or that was kind of difficult.
Well, let's talk about where did you start in your research?
Not until you guys said, hey, start at the definition of premise liability did I start there.
Okay.
But I started up looking at cases and I went into.
And was that difficult?
And I'm trying to remember because I don't have my USB on me, so I can't.
Okay.
Exactly what I did.
I didn't think it was much.
Okay.
But no, it wasn't very difficult to find the information that I was looking for.
Okay.
But
Did you understand the different standards as far as if somebody falls at your house, if somebody falls at the store, if somebody?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Good.
It was definitely easy to find that information.
Good. Where did you go to find it first?
Lexis.
You did? Good.
I found all my information on Lexis.
You did. All right. How about,
Except for I think the statute about premise liability.
All right. all right. So all of y'all. Yeah. Oh, that makes me happy. Good. Yay. 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 Okay. I'm flip-flopping the syllabus a little bit on you guys. I know I had on this week that we were gonna, I did it backwards. Or when I started to put it together, I was like, that doesn't make sense. We're not gonna start with preparing the case for trial. We're gonna start with how do you draft pleadings and how do you create files, okay? So what I did for this week, and we're on week 15. Is I want us to brainstorm and think about from either side, how would you approach this case? And what ultimately we're working up to is getting it ready for this hypothetical trial. You know, you're going to put it together and we're going to move towards trial. So let's think about, I'm going to give you guys a few minutes. Let's read the accident report, and then we're going to talk about it and talk about what we would need to do from there, okay? Okay, so we've got our accident report pulled up. What information, let's assume for a second, we'll start on the plaintiff side. Someone's been injured in an accident, they want to come see you, they do have a copy of the accident report, right? Okay, so they're going to sit down and meet with you. You're looking over the accident report. What does the accident report tell you about what?
It says Alice Page.
Their names were,
Mhm.
their address, phone number, who they had insurance with, what happened in the accident, if anybody was taken to the hospital,
Okay,
so.
okay. All that's just, I was gonna say, Kelly was our resident expert on this. And I need to do a family law one too, because this is gonna be way too easy for you. So when you think about from that perspective, think about, all right, you've got a plaintiff coming in, and who's the plaintiff?
Sam Smith.
Yes, the plaintiff is the injured party, right? Okay, so who's the defendant in this? Alice Page. Do what?
He's asking if they're singers.
I know Sam Smith is definitely a singer.
Okay, all right. So Mr. Smith's injured. Miss Page caused it supposedly, and right now you've got Mr. Smith coming in. All right. So what is going to be important information to gather from Smith?
You're gonna have to get his statement on what happened.
Mm-hmm. You're going to gather what facts
Facts.
about the incident. All right. Then what?
You need to find out if he was injured and if he sought medical help after that.
Any injuries? What if he does have injuries? Then what do?
You need to get him to sign a release so you can get some medical report.
What else do you need to know? Where all he was treated?
Yeah.
Where all he went for treatment?
And if he is still receiving treatment.
Mm-hmm. What else you gonna need?
Any bills that he may have received so far.
Mm-hmm. Medical bills? What other kind of bills if you need?
Towing bills,
What did you say? Towing?
maintenance bills, I guess.
Anything
Towing them.
related.
Yeah.
If he had
Towing?
to get a rental car,
Mm-hmm.
if he was out of pocket, for gas or mileage or borrowing a vehicle from someone.
Mm-hmm.
Work expenses.
How has work come into this?
How much he would have been able to make,
Mm-hmm. So lost time?
lost time.
What else?
You're gonna need his insurance information.
Mhm.
If you have insurance with. You're gonna need to know if he's filed a claim on his insurance or if he's been contacted by the other party's insurance.
Mm-hmm.
What time of accident, he covered the facts.
The time of the accident?
Like when it happened.
It should be on the accident report.
Well, I figured it was covered in the facts, like that we have number one is facts.
Oh, I see what you're saying. And then, yeah. Yeah, what would be relevant facts about the injury?
Yeah, okay.
Yes, yes.
You'll need to know if there was anybody else in the vehicle with him,
Mm-hmm.
and then the same information for them on their injuries.
Let's assume for this hypothetical, we don't have any passengers involved. But yes, that's a good point. We don't have any passengers. Let's further assume that as a result of this, Mr. Smith did have, he had back injuries. He went to the chiropractor,
Physical therapy.
physical therapy, and he also,
Maybe he needed a back room.
he also had, hip pain as a result of this. So he saw an orthopedic. But no surgery, pretty much all conservative. All conservative treatment. What else might you need to know?
If there was anything in his vehicle that was damaged,
Okay. Anything else?
Maybe whether or not there was, what do you call that liability where the other person's like intoxicated or,
if there was any citations at the scene.
what's that? Where the other person's intoxicated, so they're responsible for, what's that called?
Was there anything alleged like that on the accident report?
No, never mind.
Okay, but who would you talk to maybe to confirm whether or not that was actually done?
The police officer that
Okay.
wrote up the report.
Okay. Anything else y'all can think of? So this is just general, they walk in the door, these are the things you need to know, right?
Did we put on there if you needed a rental car?
I put that under like bills, medical towing, car, right there. Alright, let's assume that you work for the insurance company and you get a slip of paper in with the accident and they're saying, here, what are you gonna do? Alright, so what from a defense side are you gonna be gathering?
And their statement
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Right. What else?
For the most part, the exact same stuff we have listed in there.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. What about the cat factor?
Like, who you're supposed to,
If there was any witnesses.
assume that there was a cat there.
Well, the cat's in the police report.
Yeah, there's a
You
cute
know,
little
saying
cat.
that There was a cat in the road.
Yeah.
I was looking down at my cell phone and swerved into the other lane.
Oh, there's an actual cat. I thought that was some legal term.
Oh no, like a cat, like meow, yeah, cat. Okay, so if you're thinking about it from a defense side, okay, pretty much the same stuff. What else might you want to do?
You need to go over their policy with them, see what their policy limits are.
Okay.
Because if they only had state required liability limits and they hit a Land Rover,
Not so much, yeah.
good chance they're gonna be sued.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. This is all a really good start. So you're gonna gather all this information, right? Yay. All right. So once you gather the information, let's assume further that the injuries caused to Mr. Smith, total, meaning chiropractic bills, physical therapy, all that stuff. Yep.
Did he have an injury prior to the accident as well?
That's something you would eventually do.
Mm-hmm. Prior injuries of plaintiff.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're fine. Yes. So let's assume for a second. Oh, you asked me, did he have prior injuries? I believe there had been conservative chiropractic treatment prior to.
Conservative.
Yes. Yes. So we do have prior back injury, not necessarily injury, but prior visits to the chiropractor. Let's assume medical bills total $50,000. All right, so once you gather this information, what are you going to do next?
Which side are we for right now?
We're back to the plan. You're back over here with Mr. Smith. We're gonna gather info, then what are we gonna do?
Search.
Then
Would you go retrieve the medical? Or would you go, like get the medical records?
Very good, yes.
get your medical records, towing receipt, rental car receipts, proof of lost time at work. You're gonna have to send copies of that to the defendant's or insurance company.
Okay. You send all that to Paige's attorney, right? You send all that over in the form of what?
Interrogatory.
Well, that's a question.
Here's like a tactical, okay. Do you A, fire off at the front, there's sort of two lines of attorneys sometimes. Some attorneys are like, I'm never talking to insurance adjuster ever. I'm just filing a lawsuit. Some of them are that way. Some of them are, I'm going to put together a demand package and I'm going to send it over. And then if that doesn't work, then we'll file suit. So depends on who you work for. But,
In this case, we definitely should just file a demand, or not file, just send a demand letter saying.
you're going to send a demand letter over. Yes. Okay.
And you'll need two separate ones, one for bodily injury and one for property damage. Or, I mean, you could put them together.
Yeah.
But a lot of times they'll stay separate.
Do you know why that is?
Because when you have medical injuries, sometimes it takes a lot longer to get
Mhm.
all the bills in, it can take
Mhm.
a year. And so if they can go ahead and settle with you on your vehicle, they're
Yeah.
going to, so you can go ahead and do it.
And, they need the money to get their vehicle fixed or whatever the case may be. It doesn't take a lawyer to do that, really. I mean, most of the time, you're not going to get enough on that to get paid, so you want to get that done for them, and then you're going to move on to the other, the medical part. All right, you send the demand letter over. Red Rover, the demand letter goes over. All right, what do you put in the demand letter?
What happened,
You're gonna include a copy of the police report, a copy of the bills. If we're talking about for the property damage, you're gonna wanna put in what the estimated value of the vehicle was, Kelly Blue Book, NADA. Anything in the vehicle, you're gonna put when they bought it, how much it was when they bought it, how long they've had it, and then also something showing how much it would be to replace it.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm doing all of it right now.
I'm very impressed with our resident scholar. If any of y'all have any questions, y'all need to call Kayla. Okay. So they're going to get the demand letter over here in Defense World, and they're going to read it. And what are they going to do?
they're gonna write back and say,
You're going to get, now, you're in Defense World. You're writing the letter back. You're writing the response. What's your response going to look like?
If you agree, if they're not asking an unreasonable amount, and they have all their receipts and everything, then this would be an agreement to what?
Never happens. They never agree.
Yeah.
If they do, y'all please call me and tell me immediately. No. And not to say they're completely unreasonable, but first of all, the demand you're sending over is probably an amount way higher than what you reasonably think you're going to get. And they know that. Their response, way lower than what they're really going to pay. We know that. Y'all know that. So, anyway, so this is where your negotiation skills come in. All right. So they're writing a response back. And what is included in their response?
Their counter offer?
Counter offer, what else?
maybe some, a demand against them, or a claim that the plaintiff was actually in fault.
What about the cat?
Oh, the cat,
The cat, does that offer some defense?
it does, which we would have to research.
It's the stray cat defense, yes. You are gonna have to research it to know.
Yeah.
Really
Is that-
such a thing?
So we need to
I don't know,
find
y'all
out.
tell me. That's
I don't.
if you're sitting from, there is something out there called the last clear chance doctrine, so look at that.
Well, then, but, because I was gonna say the last clear chance, because we talked about that in
Mhm.
our civil class.
The cat may have nothing to do with it, just you have to consider it. What, I interrupted you, the last clear chance
Last
doctrine?
clear chance would be on the plaintiff's side, where the plaintiff could have been like, you know, they had the chance to evade.
But who asserts that? The defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And usually they're gonna ask you, what's more important, hitting someone or running over a cat?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your answer probably should be cat.
I would say that would probably be the better response.
I would rather check.
My dad always told me that if I end up running over somebody instead of running over an animal, that I'll get 10 times more in trouble than if I would just ran over the animal.
Good response, Dad. Words of wisdom. Words of wisdom. Okay, so let's think about it from this standpoint. Okay, the demand layer goes over that y'all have brilliantly crafted. The response comes back that y'all have brilliantly crafted. It all falls apart, right? We're moving on. What happens next?
If you can't come to a agreement, then you have to start preparing for a trial. So you see before you do.
Interrogatories.
Do you do any, like a mediation, stuff like that?
You could. You could. You could. You might want to get some more information before you do that. Especially if you've got a dispute over who's at fault. You don't want more at that. If it's clear liability, you've been rear-ended, you can probably mediate that. All right, we're moving on. In the anticipation we might have to go to trial. So, as the plaintiff, what are you going to do next?
You're going to file a claim to sue them.
And what is that called? What is the document you file?
Complaint.
Oh, yay! Who said that? Yay! All right, complaint. You're gonna file a complaint. It's gonna go over here. Boom. Now you're sitting in the defense seat. You get the complaint. Psst. What are you gonna do? You're gonna. Very good. You're gonna answer. What are some other options over here when you file this complaint? You can include with that complaint.
Did you file a request for summary judgment? I mean, if it was clear that they were at fault, they're just not wanting to pay out. And you're like, Judge, this is obvious they're at fault.
You mean before you ever answer, come out of the box, and you could,
Well, I guess from either side.
or it could be a motion to dismiss or a motion for summary judgment.
You didn't have a summary judgment from the plaintiff's side, did you? Because you didn't know if they still have the right to answer.
Okay.
Ultimately, they still have that.
But what else might, from either side, might you want to include in either when you file your complaint or when you file your answer?
Any documentation like
Okay.
that? You file that with it?
I guess what I'm trying to say, and I'm not trying to trick you guys, when you file your complaint, you can also file your interrogatories, your request for production, your depot notice. What's another tool in your box you can file? Requests for production's one of them. Request for starts with the A. request for admissions. Those, if you ever get those, stop what you're doing and respond, because if you miss it, you've admitted it. Big deal. Don't put it at the bottom of the stack. All right. So you've got Mr. Smith's case rocking right along. We filed our complaint. We've got brilliant interrogatories, requests for reduction, all this kind of stuff going on. Okay, dokie. Now, you're sitting on the defense side. You're going to answer and do what? You could file a counterclaim. Very good. What else could you do? Or file?
Dismiss, ask for dismiss.
Yep. I put that, you could come out of the box and file a motion to dismiss. It's not a legal claim. It's not anything. It's not, you know. You could file an answer or counterclaim. And then what else could you do with that? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's some of the same
You're
stuff
gonna
over here.
request for production or admission.
Yes. You're gonna send them interrogatories, request for production. You're gonna notice their deposition, and you're gonna send possibly requests for admission. All right. From the defense side, what else might you? Who else might you want to depose?
Your witness.
All right.
You have to send out a.
Our chiro is Dr. Crack, our physical therapist is Dr. Muscle, and our hip doctor is Dr. Bones. All right. So you might want to depose the doctors depending. We'll see. Okay. I believe we touched on this a little bit, but again, from a plaintiff or defense side, you want to be sure you understand what you got to prove from the plaintiff side, right? And from a defense side, you want to know what?
There's an insurance that they would call.
What your defenses are. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So, you're going to play both sides of the coin with this assignment. You are going to draft a complaint. You're going to draft an answer or counterclaim, whatever you deem necessary, or motion to dismiss. You're going to draft interrogatories and requests for production. And if you think it's appropriate, requests for admissions and depot notices for both sides. Now, where would you go to find forms to do all this stuff? Alifile. That's a good starting point. Where else? Google. Google will probably help. Where else?
Files in the office.
Files in the office. Very good.
Books.
Form books. Very good. I think there might be forms on Lexis. But there's definitely treatises out there. And y'all may come up with ideas I didn't even think of.
always.
Yes,
That makes me,
yes. Well, a lot of it's just mirror images. I mean, you know, you got to think about, okay, what questions am I going to ask from a plaintiff side? Well, if you're thinking about from that side, you got to be thinking about from the other side too. So hopefully it will not be, hopefully it won't take you that long really to put it together.
Really, the only time I really need to know if the cat was really there is if you are under the impression that the other party might have been on drugs or drinking and driving, and you're trying to prove that. Or vice versa, if you're from the defense side and
trying to prove
the
it's a fraud.
plaintiff is saying that there was a cat, you swerved and hit me, but really they swerved over and caused you to hit them. And you know why. Was there really a cat?
Think about it from this side. What would be some evidence that might prove or disprove whether or not there's a cat? What other things might they have been doing at the time that you might could get your hands on?
Could you get, text message reports from the carrier to see if they were on their phone or calling someone, texting someone, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Oh, but you were asking about the research. What I was talking about is don't focus so much in on the cat. Think about it in broad terms. Don't call it a cat or a dog or whatever. Is there like an obstruction in the road? Is there, you know, are they trying to swerve or
Right.
is that what you mean?
Well, yeah, because I typed in like road hazard,
Okay, okay. Animal.
Yeah,
There's got to be deer cases out there. I mean, there's got to be, you know.
That's with cows.
Yeah, cows.
Seriously.
Something in the road, you know, that's got to be out there. It may not be a cat, but you got to think how you got what's analogous. You know, what can you find that's similar?
My sister hit a horse one time.
See, horse. There you go.
Yeah, it almost like, its face was like a couple inches from hers.
That's so scary. Ugh.
Yeah.
my best friend's ex-mother-in-law hit a